Right. So three major points of culture, right? That is what culture is not. Right? We were discussing what culture is. Now we are going to discuss what culture is not. Very first is culture is not right or wrong. Right. So this based as international business managers, right? Or international business as international marketeers, not even international, right? Whatever internet, all business managers, all marketers, all the organization people, they should, it is for them, right? So very first thing is culture is not right or wrong. It is not right and it is not wrong, right? If someone is following a culture, you cannot term them wrong, right? Or you cannot term your culture as right, because it is their way of living, it is their side of living, right? It is how their, so they in the society they have been brought up, right? Religion, right? A lot of people, they you can say they pinpoint other religion, right? You should not, right? Being an international business professional, you should not, because it is their religion, it is their culture. They are totally uh, going to be abiding by their culture, so it is their part of culture. So you cannot term your culture right and other culture wrong, right? So every culture is right, everything is relative, everything, there is no absolute thing in culture, right? So you cannot say this is right and this is wrong, so everything is relative, right? So this is very first point. The culture, what culture is not, is right or wrong, right? So second one is, it is not about individual behavior. Whatever an individual person is going to doing, is going to be doing, is not going to be part of culture, right? For example, if someone, right, is having long hair, right? If in some society males have long hair, right, and it is a very small part of the entire society, so you cannot generalize that that entire this country is, right? Just taking example, right? And not to be offended, just an example, right? So uh, Saudi Arabia, so all the males in Saudi Arabia are going to be having long hairs, right? So it is not, if someone, if some group of men are having long hair, right? So you cannot generalize that entire society is like this, right? So same, the picture which is illustrated here about terrorism, right? So it's a very small part of very small number of people, right, in that entire population. And I am not saying about any single religion. You are going to find it. Being an international business professional, I have seen the world, right? And I will say that they are, these terrorists are in all the society, right? Not in single society, right? So they are a small bunch of people, right? And you can, and a lot of people, they generalize it on the entire race. That entire race is terrorist, right? So that is, you cannot do that, because that's an individual behavior, right? Or a very small group of people who are putting these bad events, and now entire nation is facing the consequences, right? So second point, it is not about individual, it is a group thing, right? Third one is, it is not inherited, right? So just like I was saying, if a child is born in some society, right, he's going to be brought up with all the religion, all the culture, right? So it is not inherited. If a child is born, right, he is totally blank, right? Whatever you are going to write in his mind, he's going to pick all these things, right? So it is not inherited, right? So if a child is born, he or she has uh, past 2 years of his early life. Later on, right, their parents, his or her parent migrated to another country, right? So the next thing are going to be written in his software, in his mind, are going to be from that society, right? So it is not inherited. If it would have been inherited, so it is going to be like, then the very first point would be again negated, right? So it is not inherited, right? So all these 3 points are very important related to you being international business graduate, right? So that means you have to abide by all these things, you have to take into account all these things, you have to value each culture, right? So you have to be a geocentric, You have to have an approach of geocentric rather than ethnocentric. So geocentric is an approach where you are going to take everything into account and having a neutral stance rather than a pro side or a con side, rather than this extreme or that extreme, right? So this is what uh, these 3 points are.